We love you and papers too.
Welcome, and today we're continuing on with our Early Start Potty Training series. Last episode you found out the sort of products that are required to make the process a lot easier. And today we have a very special visitor coming to show us how to actually do wee-wees on the potty. Princess Kayla and her mum Laura have visited us, and we're about to show you how to place a baby on the potty the most successful way. And surprise, surprise, Kayla did her wee-wees on the potty on cue. This is what Early Start Potty Training is all about. Parents, they can do it. You just have to show them. Okay, now that we have an idea of the sort of products that we require to start early potty training, we're going to show you simple things like placing our little princess on the potty and how the best way to go about it. So basically just getting started. So we have Princess Kayla here today to be able to show us what to do. Clever girl. Now I find the best way when you're working with a bub, and especially around Kayla's age group of around 5 months,
yes,
then often they've got their head control, so prior to that event often it's easy to actually place your bub in between your legs in a smaller potty and have them actually rest up against your chest if you're starting from around your 2 months, etc., or younger. So now that we have head control, I even find the best way to work with a baby is actually holding them by their thighs rather than underneath their arms. You tend to have a little bit more control in a lot of cases, probably a bit more when they're a little bit older as well. But what we'll do is we'll pop Princess Kayla onto the potty. So holding like this so that you actually have control rather than the legs flailing around all over the place, and then placing her on like this, then basically is the best way to go about it. And obviously, being only 5 months, we don't leave them. We need to be there at the same time, yes. And to help the whole process with regards to, as the Early Start Potty Training teaches you, the beginning of the process is actually cueing them to go. So making a noise pss, 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 when they start to do their wees, and eventually they will actually start to cue them to go because they get used to the actual process of that noise and they associate it then with weeing. With regards to the poo side of things, it becomes quite obvious, oh dear, becomes quite obvious when they grunt and go red in the face and various things like that to know when to put them on. Otherwise, just at your normal times, at a nappy change, various things like that. Often you can give your little bub something, something to play with while they're on the potty. This sort of thing just keeps them, keeps their attention for a little bit longer. So something to use their hands there to take their attention and keep them interested. Often reading a book on the potty. Oh, then that also can help. Not only that, I'm a firm believer of reading books with children so that they can start to learn that way as well. And great potty books like Dora's Potty Book make a big difference to the process, especially when we have things like a flasher button. What's that? What is that? So reading to your child on the potty as well. So the process is, what I found when I started my little one, is that they eventually just get used to using the potty. But making that noise, what that does is it, like I said, it actually cues them to start going. And then grab you off. And what I found the best, we actually do it. Clever girl. What a clever girl you are. Yes, you are. So what we do with regards to this, often before we actually take them off the potty, let's start again. Here we go. What I find the best way to use with a little bub is we actually use things like tissue to wipe, because then it's a lot easier for you to grab. And my favourite is flushable Wiggles wipes, because what that allows you to do is you get to have a nice clean wipe. They're flushable, so even when you're using a potty, you're able to pop it straight into the potty, and then it's not a problem. We can pop it straight into the toilet. Clever girl doing wee-wees on the potty. What a clever girl you are. And lots of praise to show them how clever they are, and it becomes just second nature. It does, it becomes second nature. Very clever, Princess Kayla. Well done. Now we have Kayla here again today to show us how to use the potty again. Now with this potty here, this one makes it a lot easier for starting a younger bub, such as Kayla, on the potty, with regards to holding on their thighs and placing her on with the potty between your legs. Makes it so much easier with regards to control, and then you have the toy to play with to keep them entertained. But what it does, especially if you have a younger bub, then their head can rest up against your chest, and like I said, you have full control over them and they're nice and safe. You can actually buy them independently at this size, but this one came with the potty, so it had a dual purpose situation of being the small one, the large one, and then the insert. So sometimes you can get some great added value with buying the potty. Though I do recommend a $6 potty is fine to start the process, and you're better off investing in something like your Loopy Loo because it's more long term. The potty is such a temporary situation. But this is how the best way to do it, and we make our noise to do our wee-wees on the potty. With Jaden, what I found was popping him on the Loopy Loo once a day meant he was never afraid of the toilet. So the Loopy Loo makes a big difference because of the fact it's just a child seat that's moulded up, down, versus the actual ad remove insert, which can shift and pinch. And with the squirmy wormy as well, it makes it a bit more difficult to put them on there. So once a day from 9 months old meant that Jaden was never afraid of the toilet. So it's just more common sense principles than anything else. So again, obviously, with regards to starting a bub, putting a bub on there, you never leave them. You will need to be with them at every step of the way. And with regards to doing the holding by the legs, this is the other reason versus when they straighten up their legs, so it makes it a bit harder to control rather than underneath the arms. So this is why placing them on like this is actually a lot easier. So you actually have full control of the process. And that way, you can make your noise and they can actually get used to using the toilet from a really early age. Thank you for being with us again today. So I understand you've actually started Kayla on the potty. What age did you start?
I started her at 3.5 months.
And what happened?
Well, first off, I was just taking her in the shower.
Yes.
So she would get the idea of the cue sound being made to doing a wee. When the warm water hit her, of course, she would go, and then I would make the cue sound. And now she's used to me making the cue sound, and she knows what to do. And it took a couple of times sitting on the potty.
Oh, you want to have your say. You want to have your say.
But eventually she did get the idea. And I think just a benefit of starting them early is they're giving them much more confidence as they get older that they can toilet themselves.
And what are some of the other benefits that you see with starting early?
They're not afraid. It just comes as a natural thing to them. They're not scared of the toilet or of a potty or scared of not having a nappy on.
Mm-hmm.
It just comes as a natural thing. They don't know any different.
That's right. And obviously even the savings, I've worked out that it's costing parents $100 a month now in nappies. So just even, I guess, I know what I was like, every nappy I saved, I got very excited about it. So how's that with regards to the savings alone with doing the
It does
process?
make a difference per month. There's other things you can buy.
Yeah, that's it, rather than wasting them on nappies. Yeah.
But pretty dresses.
Yeah, that's right. And I understand that you started with Liam, your little one, your first. So how did that go?
I started him at 6 months, and I did exactly the same thing with him. And he was doing most wees and, I'd say 99% of poos. We'd have maybe one poo and a nappy a fortnight by the time he was 8 months.
Isn't that fantastic? Imagine that whole situation of no more pooing nappies. It's the best.
Oh, of course, when they start solids. Ooh.
That's it, even more reason to start
Yes.
early. That's what I say to parents. A 2-year-old poo is an adult poo. You don't want to go there. Well, thank you very much for coming today.
You're welcome.
So hopefully now you can see how easy it can be to start your bub on the potty. Princess Kayla was a breeze. She showed you how clever she is, and that's it. We underestimate our child. They will do it. They're going to wee and poo anyway. If you pop them on the potty, that's how they'll learn to go. And it's actually easier for them to sit to poo on the potty as the poo passes through the body than having the nappy smush it back up again. That's what makes it so much harder. So that's why they eventually will start to let you know they need to go, just like Kai did with me from 9 months crying out. So in our next episode, we'll be continuing on with this series of early potty training, but we'll be running through the facts of what happens when you don't start early, the consequences of late toilet training, which is now considered 2 years old. This is what research is showing us. So stay tuned for the next episode. Just a reminder that our sponsors, Cushy Tushies, are giving away a fantastic Get Started prize pack. Use the code word that you see on the screen now, head over to our Facebook page and enter the Cushy Tushies competition to win a prize value of a total of $225, the essential pack for starting early.